It's Tennessee Frank.
Hey guys, what's going on? Tennessee Frank here. Gonna bring you a quick revolver review. I had planned to do two, but one had to go back. It needed some work done to it, so it had to get sent back. We'll do that one at a later date. But right now, what we're gonna take a look at is this little Taurus 856. If you watched my revolver day with Tennessee Frank and Jack, you saw he had one of these that was double action only, and it shot really well, and it kind of got me to thinking, well, maybe that wouldn't be a bad little extra EDC gun to have. I mean, it is 6 shots, which is nice. It kind of gives you that extra round over your little 5-shot J-frames. Price point's not bad on these either. You can get them for, $3.50 to $4, depending on where you buy. Of course, they do come with these little rubber grips, which you can barely get 2 fingers for me. So I did replace them with the Pachmayr Renegade grips. I went ahead and got the wood color with the checkering, and you can see here you get a full 3 finger, so you get a good grip on the gun. My holster, Blackhawk holster I've had, it works good. Slips right in, so I got a good inside the waistband holster. It still is a little bit tight. It needs to be broken in a little bit more. And I did pick up a tactical Scorpion outside waistband, and this guy just fits it just like a glove. And this is, like I said, it's new. It needs to be broken in a little, but yeah, it works awesome. So I do have a couple options here with holsters, and speed strips, naturally they're going to work, and you carry those in your JJ DeSantis pocket mag carrier. Even though it's magazine carrier, yeah, it'll carry your speed strips and keep them oriented good for you. So that's a good option. And I had a lot of the Model 10 speed loaders left over. Technically, they say this is supposed to take the one for like the Colt D-frames, like the Detective Specials. But I find that this slips in just fine. Loads just fine, no problem at all. Yeah, I don't have any issue at all with these Model 10s. And I got a bunch of them left over. But it is a little bit heavier. I opted to go with the all-steel version versus the alloy, the ultralight, because the lighter guns in 38, especially when running the Plus P for me, they're kicking a little bit harder than I like right now. I'm starting to get a little bit of arthritis in the thumb area and stuff. You get older, stuff like that happens. This guy was real mild, no issues at all, even shooting the Plus P, especially with these wider grips. I love these grips. They kind of come out like in a teardrop shape, so they fill your hand really nice. But yeah, I mean, recoil was very manageable. We can go ahead and roll in some footage. I went ahead and weighed this gun versus some of my other EDCs. And let me roll some footage in here of different weights here, and then we'll get back to the tabletop. Alright, we can compare some weights real quick. Let's go ahead and put my everyday carry that I have right now. That's going to be the 43X. It does have a full magazine, 10 rounds, nothing in the chamber. Normally when I'm going to work, that's the way I'm going to carry this because we do have to unload our firearms and store them in our locker. So that just gives me a place in the magazine to store that extra round. So I'll carry with 9+1. So we can see we're at 23.6 ounces. Now let's see how much the Taurus is going to come in at. And this is the all steel model. It's not the ultralight. Again, 23.6 ounces. That is unloaded though. Let's add some ammunition in here. I normally run the 125 grain hollow points. These are Winchester. Remington has a good one that I'll run. And you can see once we add some ammunition, it does kind of bump it up a little. We're at 26.5. So a little bit heavier. Let's take one round off and let's put in my Smith & Wesson J-frame real quick. Let's take a look at it with 5 rounds. You can see that's coming in at 16.8. That's why this little guy really kicks a lot. It's got a lot of recoil. I'd say it's almost painful to shoot at times. This Taurus is really mild. This is a good gun for carry. Like I said, it's just a little over a pound, fully loaded with 5 rounds. But you do get a lot more recoil with this gun. And then we can go and check out one of my favorite little pocket carry guns. And I'll carry this gun in the summer when I really need concealment. That's going to be the little 351C 22 mag. It is fully loaded, and we're 12.5 ounces. I mean, this little guy, it just weighs nothing. But that doesn't matter as much with this because 22 mag doesn't have any recoil. So I mean, it's very mild to shoot. So let's go ahead and throw it back over to the tabletop. Alright, I hope that was kind of, helpful information-wise on different weights. You can see this is a little bit heavy, but not too bad. I mean, even like compared to the Glock 43X, it's a couple 3 ounces heavier, but not bad. And, like I said, it does help mitigate the recoil. We can look at some targets. Here's the first 6 out of the gun. 7 yards. That's using the Grizzly 158 grain. Truthfully, that's not the best ammo in the world. I've had better ammo. It tends to lead my guns up really badly. But you can see we got 4 right there in the gray. 1 still in the circle. I did pull 1. Go ahead and pull up my next. And that was single action. I did do a double action for the second group. Again, all of them were in the circle. That even kind of cut the line. 7 yards. Not too bad. I did put a Wilson spring kit in, or Wilson. No, take that back. I put a Wolf spring kit in that. 8-pound hammer spring, 6.5-pound trigger spring. And you do have to trim the trigger spring on these newer guns. It's not a hard thing to do. There's videos out there that show you to do it. So this has an awesome trigger pull now. Just ran through some odds and ends that I had, double action, just to see what I do. It did pull some, but more or less they're all right there. And then I ran through another bunch of odds and ends. I took a bunch of different ammo out that I just had a lot of, 4s and 5s of, not enough to really do a full cylinder, and just ran through. Got a couple flyers, but like I said, for the most part, they're all right there in the center. So the gun is shooting straight. I did paint that front sight. Let's see if you can see that. It's a kind of a bright orange, and I used a paint marker. You can get paint markers on Amazon, different places. Yeah, that black background, that shows it up good. And like I said, the trigger pull, real smooth. And I mean, it's not bad at all. Single action is just awesome. But it was real heavy factory with the springs and all. A lot of companies do that, litigation-wise. They don't want someone to accidentally shoot somebody, pull the trigger. So they're putting heavy trigger pulls in these guns. I've even seen it on bolt-action hunting rifles. They put a kind of an extra heavy trigger pull in them just to keep the lawyers at bay. But you can throw in a Wolf spring kit. maybe Wilson makes one. I mean, there's a few places that make them. But normally, like with stuff, I'll do Wilson Combat, especially on semi-autos. But yeah, this was a Wolf Spring kit. They're like $7 or $8. They're not expensive at all. So yeah, I hope you kind of found this interesting. Hopefully I'll get the other revolver back here in a couple weeks. We'll get out and shoot it and verify that it's going to work. And when we do, we'll roll in another tabletop with it. So like I always say, either we stand up for our rights or we can sit by and watch them go away. Y'all have an awesome rest of the day. We'll talk to you later. Tennessee Frank out of here.